right, if I can have everyone's attention, we will call to order the June 13th, 2022. Give me better. June 13th, 2022 Houston County Commission meeting. We do have a quorum as all commissioners are in attendance. Welcome, everyone. Glad you all could be with us today. Our invoker is not here yet, so I would call on whoever would like to offer the invocation from the dais. All right, Commissioner Herring, if you will provide the invocation, and the pledge will be provided by Commissioner Singfield, if you'll all stand.
Let's pray. Father God, thank you for this time we have together. God, I just pray that we'll conduct your business in the correct way, God. And God, we'll just do everything to glorify you in this meeting, God. God, I ask you to be the ones out there that are suffering from diseases and God, just different things going on. God, you know what's best for each and every one of us. God, I praise and thank you for all you do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioners, doing that. You each received copies of the minutes from the preceding meeting. If there are no corrections, so we have a motion to approve. By Commissioner Singfield, by Commissioner Terry. All in favor, say aye. Passes. All right, announcements and comments. I want to again remind everyone to please make a note on your calendar, whether it's the electronic or paper or in your brain. Go vote a week from tomorrow. We have runoff elections in Houston County and the state of Alabama. There are Democrat and Republican races, so go out and please go out and exercise the right that so many have fought and died for, so that you can do that. Don't take it for granted. There are a lot of people that have done a lot of work to try to secure your vote so that they can serve you, and we would encourage you to honor them by going out and taking a few minutes. It will not take you long to vote. Feel like most of you that I'm speaking to, whether on the internet or in person, are not going to go vote, but we want to encourage all of you to take a moment and get out there and vote. Polls open at 7 and close at 7, and Heather and her staff and all the folks in probate and elections will handle it very well, as they always do. So just take a moment during that time, if you will, and get out and vote. We also will be pending, I guess we can talk about that on the agenda, since it's on the agenda, but more than likely we're going to be closed a week from the day. So want to make appropriate plans for that. I'm sure that's fun for probate, trying to be closed the day before an election. But, assuming the commission approves item number 5, we will be closed a week from today for state and federal holiday, Juneteenth holiday. Other announcements from the commission?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I would like to recognize a friend of mine that he and I have been talking for some time now, and Mr. John Parkhurst from who's a project manager with
Yes, sir.
Technology.
Operations manager.
Right. So we have some exciting news. Hopefully that broadband and the expansion of broadband in Houston County is under the eyes of John and what he's doing, and great plans he has for he's laid out. And so he sent us a letter Houston County Commission to support the ADECA grant program application that is submitted by Knowledge. So, John, if you would just come and share a few words, and then he's had some pamphlets there he'd like to share with us to look at.
Good.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah,
Thank you, John.
talking to that microphone, be right.
I just wanted to give you some maps, visualize a little bit of what we're talking about for all of you to see.
Peter. While we're receiving.
So first of all, I'd like to thank you for inviting me. This all started when I moved to Houston County about 5 years ago from Montgomery County. I was brought here by WOW to take over a market that, let's face it, wasn't really invested in very much over probably the last 10 years. One of the things that I learned right away when I moved to Gene Terry Road is I couldn't get internet. So this led me down the path to really get my company engaged in not only receiving government funds, but also invest in ourselves and some funding that we could do primarily from a smaller point of view. So initially what we set out to do for our customers currently today, which is about 750 plant miles of copper, old copper telco wiring. I couldn't offer them good product right away. So what I did was I lowered their bills, which the average bill went down $40 off the top. So customers that were paying $65 for say 10 to 15 megs of internet were now paying 15. And what that did was really try to let them know that we were working on a path to give them better product, but until then, we wanted to give them something where it could better support them. The second phase was we just built 1,000 homes in Cottonwood, Alabama, with fiber optics. Actually, probably 75% of customers has taken that product, and it's really went off real good in that area. But this mapping I wanted to give you is a purple map of the areas of opportunity on this first phase of ADECA funding. And as you can see, it's a pretty big polygon. Every one of these areas are either underserved completely, no service, or they get less than 25 megs of internet. So with that said, our goal is to put fiber in some of the towns all the way through. And also, instead of replacing old technology, putting fiber in the ground in some of these real rural areas. And just to let you know, some of these rural areas, you only get like 4 homes per mile. So it's very, very, sporadic out there. But we have 6 potential opportunities out there that we're looking at. If we were to get the $5 million grant, WOW has to invest 20% of their own funds to finish this. All in all, we can get everything that I want to get in these purple areas with fiber optic cable. There are some that there's no homes there, but what we're going to do is, as you know, as soon as you put fiber in the ground, the economy trying to help, and people will move out in these areas, build homes, things like that. So what we're doing is we're leaving enough fiber in these areas that if homes are built, we'll be able to serve them off the current fiber infrastructure we're putting in the ground.
That's, and what I was trying to say is these locations, especially when you see in the southeast area of Houston County, that's kind of a remote area where there's not a lot of communication. What we've seen through the COVID situation we've had in the past, schools are closed, this has opened the door for many of our kids to actually access the internet and broadband and not having to go to libraries and such as that. They just be right there for them. And if there's a road with 10 houses on it, and there's an adjacent connecting road with 2 down half a mile, that's what John is trying to say. They want to connect all of Houston County, not just populated areas. So that's commend you for looking into that.
That's exactly right. And if we get the $5 million requested from ADECA, again, we'll invest in all these other areas. And the next phase is to try to receive a little more from some of the other ones like Reconnect and the BEAD fund that's eventually going to come. My goal is to fill in all of Houston County within the next 3 years of areas that are within WOW's footprint or right outside it. And really, 3 years from now, I think we could be looking at a whole different outlook in the rural areas.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming. A couple of comments. One, there's been I'm sure this grant part of it, there's been a ton of money pushed down from the feds for broadband. And honestly, that's, while we certainly have an interest in broadband and have talked about it, I think that's one of the reasons we haven't really funded or focused on it, because exactly what's happening here is what we felt like we're going to have. A lot of these grants and a lot of this money that the state and feds have for broadband is going to funnel through you guys and others to get to our citizens without us in the middle of that, because frankly, you know more about broadband and fiber than we do. And that's not saying much. So we're glad to see you doing that. The other thing is, we're spending a bunch of this money that we have on sewer and water and that kind of thing. And broadband is part of that infrastructure that helps our community grow. So by you putting that out there, along with the sewer, some of the towns are doing, and the water they're doing, it just creates a situation that I believe will continue to spur growth out in the county, which is what we are excited about and interested in. So again, commend you for that. I do want to say this letter is just a letter of support for the grant. There's no commitment of funds or anything like that from the commission. It's just we do this all the time for people doing grants and applying for things. And, so no commitment on behalf of the commission other than to say we hope to get it, and we do have our support, and appreciate you moving forward with it. Thanks, Commissioner Singlefield, for asking me to be here today.
And I was just gonna let you know, the first time, the only thing we're investing in is Houston County. If you go to the broadband website, the only thing we chose was Houston County, because that's where we think we can make the biggest difference.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, any other announcements from the commission or comments? All right, we will dive right into the regular agenda. The first item is a request to award bid for grounds maintenance to lowest bidder meeting specs. That's by Commissioner Singlefield, second by Commissioner Hardy. Questions or comments? Sean, right here. Okay. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. I see it. Stand here back there. Item number 2 is request to award bid for HVAC maintenance services to lowest bidder meeting specs. Motion to approve. Second by Commissioner Shute, second by Commissioner Hart. Questions? Comments? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 3 is request to approve 5 Alabama Mutual Aid System pass-through grants and 1 strategic national stockpile grant and accompanying budget amendment. Motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Herring, and second by Commissioner Singlefield. Questions or comments? We discussed this pretty thoroughly on Thursday. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 4 is request to enter into an agreement with Sun Life Insurance for employee basic life insurance coverage. Motion by Commissioner Singlefield to approve request. Second. Second by, which one y'all? Commissioner Shute. Any discussion or questions? I know we had some questions. I think Sherry sent, did that email go to everybody? Did you send? Yeah, I think she answered some of those in an email she sent out regarding the costs and whatnot. So, all right, so right ahead.
I was not here on Thursday. I guess my only question is this?
Sherry, you want to come to the microphone, or she's not asking, he's not asking me.
Is this term, or is this a permanent, or type of life insurance? Not sure.
It's active while they're employed. At the time, if they retire, at the time of their retirement, they do have portability or conversion options.
Okay. That was my only question.
I know they did.
Yes, sir. That's why you need to make that meeting
So then we need to.
for your package.
We'll talk later. So then the upping of the age is important. Okay, good, we'll talk about it. All right, any other questions for Sherry? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion passes. Number 5, request from the Personnel Board to approve Juneteenth as a county holiday in conjunction with the state and federal holiday schedule. Some areas state. Motion by Commissioner Hart, second by Commissioner Singfield. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion passes. Number 6, request to amend approval of funding for the town of Gordon audit to allow reimbursement of the expense. So, motion by Commissioner Hart, second by Commissioner Singfield. Any questions or comments? We explained Thursday, I forget you weren't here Thursday, we explained Thursday. If you remember when we approved this, we said with the caveat that we were going to check and see if we could write the auditing firm a check direct. Obviously, we could not do that, or this would not be on the agenda. So what we want to do is ask them to pay, and then we will reimburse the town for the amount of the issue. If y'all approve it. Yes, sir. I don't know that they have contracted with anybody yet, have they?
That's my
I mean,
they're in discussions, but I don't
yeah, they're in discussion. But this goes along with the same, the dollar amount hasn't changed. It's just is the way to get it to them. All right, any more questions? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion passes. And number 7, request to approve memorandum of agreement with the Alabama Department of Transportation.
Motion to approve.
By Commissioner Harris, second by Commissioner Hardy. This memorandum is in your packet. I know that is a very broad item on the agenda. It could be anything, but this relates to funding that was withheld that we now have used all of, and we're ready to go into normal mode.
Not necessarily, that's how you are more like
Yeah.
until we used up our old federal.
Yeah. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion passes. Staff reports, Mr. Chief Administrative Officer,
No reports today, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. County Engineer.
No closed roads.
No closed road.
All right.
Why do you want to say that?
Over fixing to pave that road.
No. That's the County Attorney. All right, any questions for the staff? From anyone? All right, then we will stand in adjournment. Thank you all.